I bit him as hard as I could, and then he hit me so hard I saw stars. That's not something I ever thought I'd have to say out loud, but here I am in 2026 and my story is all over the news because of those files. The Epstein files, 3 million pages of my nightmare released for the whole world to read. My name is not important. In the court documents they call me Jane Doe 4, but I'm real. I'm 56 years old now. And I need you to understand what happened to me when I was just 13 years old. The babysitting ad, it was 1984 or 1985. I was 13, maybe 14. We lived in South Carolina near Hilton Head Island. My mother worked for a property management company and she put together these little packets for renters, information about the area, restaurants, things to do. She added a flyer that said, "Babysitter available." She put my name on it. I was just a kid who wanted to earn some money. I had no idea that flyer would lead me straight into hell. One day, the phone rang. A man said he and his wife needed a babysitter for the night. He sounded nice, normal. He gave an address in a gated community called Hilton Head. My mother thought it was fine. I thought it was fine. I walked up to that beautiful house, knocked on the door, and waited. When the door opened, there was no wife, no children, just a man named Jeffrey Epstein. The first time he told me the kids were out with their mother and I should come in and wait. I believed him. I was 13. Why wouldn't I believe him? I don't want to describe everything that happened that first day. Some things are too painful to put into words. But he raped me. And then he gave me money and told me to come back. I didn't tell my mother. I was terrified. I thought if I told her, I'd screw up her business. I thought I'd get in trouble. I thought maybe it was my fault. That's what abusers want you to think, so I went back again and again. New York. After a while, Epstein started flying me to New York, 3 or 4 times, maybe more. He'd put me on a plane and I'd go to his mansion. I thought I didn't have a choice. He'd already broken me. In New York, things got worse. Epstein called me fresh meat. He took me to gatherings with other men, wealthy men, prominent men, men whose faces you'd recognize if I said their names. He offered me to them like I was nothing. One of those men was Donald Trump. The dressing room, I don't remember the exact date. I remember the place, New Jersey, I think. A house, maybe an office. There was a room, like a dressing room or a small bedroom. Trump was there. Epstein had introduced us before. I knew who he was. Even at 13, I knew he was rich and famous. He forced my head down. He wanted me to. I can't even say it. You know what he wanted. And I bit him. I don't know where I found the courage. Maybe it was pure survival instinct. Maybe I just couldn't take one more second of being used, but I bit his genitals. Hard, he screamed, and then he punched me in the face, hard enough that I fell, hard enough that I saw stars, black spots, whatever you want to call it. He kicked me out of that room and I ran. The photo I tried to forget. For decades, I tried to bury it all. I grew up, I lived my life, but I never forgot his face. Then, in 2019, a friend sent me a text. It was a photo. "Is this the guy?" she asked. I looked at the photo and my whole body went cold. It was him, Epstein, but he wasn't alone. Standing next to him, smiling like they were best friends, was Donald Trump. The man who punched me in the face when I was 13 years old. I saved that photo. When the FBI came to interview me in July 2019, I wanted to show them, but I asked if I could crop it first. The agent asked why. I said I was afraid of retaliation, afraid of what would happen if I showed the other person in that photo, the well-known one, the powerful one. They already got away with everything. Why would this time be any different? The FBI interviewed 2 FBI agents came to talk to me. I told them everything: Hilton Head, the rapes, New York, the other men, Trump. I told them about biting him. I told them about him hitting me. I told them everything. They wrote it all down. It went into a 21-page slideshow under a slide called Prominent Names. It said, "Redacted, stated Epstein introduced her to Trump, who subsequently forced her head down to his exposed penis, which she subsequently bit. In response, Trump punched her in the head and kicked her out. Date range 1983-1985. Redacted would have been 13-15. That slideshow was in the files. Now everyone knows. The lawsuit, I joined a lawsuit against Epstein's estate. Jane Doe 4, they called me. My lawyers wrote, Jane Doe 4 was brutally and forcibly battered, assaulted, and raped by these other men she met through Epstein. On one occasion, one of these prominent men forcibly slapped Jane Doe 4 in the face after she was forced to perform oral sex on him. This same man forcibly raped her, penetrating her both vaginally and anally. That prominent man was Donald Trump. What they say now, the Department of Justice says my story is untrue and sensationalist. They say it's unfounded and false. Trump says he's been totally exonerated. He says he has nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein, but the files are out. My interview with the FBI is out. The slideshow is out. They can call it false all they want. I was there. I remember his fist hitting my face. I remember the taste of blood. I remember running out of that room, crying, shaking, wondering if I was going to die. Questions I still have now that the files are public, now that my name is out there whether I wanted it or not. I have questions. Questions nobody has answered. Why did the FBI interview me in 2019 and then do nothing? They wrote it all down, they made their slideshow. And then what? Nothing happened, no charges, no investigation, nothing. Why does the DOJ protect powerful men but expose victims? In those files, my story is there for anyone to read, but the names of powerful men, they're still redacted. They took the time to hide them. They didn't hide me. How many other girls like me are out there? How many of us fought, screamed, and were still ignored? Why did Epstein commit suicide in a jail cell with broken cameras and sleeping guards? You tell me. You decide if that makes sense. When will someone be held accountable? Epstein is dead, Maxwell is in prison, but the other men, the ones at those gatherings, the ones who used me, the one who punched me in the face, they're still walking free. Some of them are running for president. What I want you to know, I'm not telling you this because I want your pity. I'm telling you this because the files are out and I refuse to hide anymore. I was 13 years old. I was a child. A man named Jeffrey Epstein raped me over and over, then he handed me to other men like I was a gift. One of those men was Donald Trump. When I tried to fight back, he punched me in the face. They can call it false. They can call it a conspiracy. They can say I'm lying for attention or money or politics. But I know what happened. I remember his fist. I remember running. I remember being too afraid to tell anyone for 35 years. And now I'm telling you, invisible chains can be broken. I told my story so that other girls can know that they are not alone.